All right, and officially we're back, joined by Rob from
What's up?
Valley. What's good, man?
What's
Thanks
up,
for
Nico?
joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Yeah, this is our first time having an in-person interview
Uh-huh.
live on the show. I've been dying
Yeah.
for it. I've been so excited to speak with you. But
Sick.
yeah, was the weather bad getting here? Thanks for
No, I
checking
I
in.
actually live really close, so I got to walk to work today, which is great.
Okay,
Not that this is work. This is not work at all. But no, yeah, I was just working on music at home and just had a really nice morning with my dog and my partner, and I walked on over. It's not raining. It's kind of warm out today, so it's good.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Are you a morning work person? You
I'm
generally
trying to be. A lot of like my like heroes and people I look up to, I'm just like reading up on just like daily habits, and I've been trying to work into like high performance a little bit, but I'm not a morning person. I'm a night owl. I'm
mm,
like I can focus when everyone else is asleep, which is horrible, but yeah, I'm trying to be more of a morning person. I find I'm more effective. Like this morning I woke up, I had like a drum beat in my head from last night that I heard in my head, and I was like, if I wake up early, eat my breakfast, and like get it done, I'll be much more productive. And I ended up doing a lot of stuff this morning. So mornings are important, I guess. I don't know.
that's sick. I'm blown away by the fact that you can go to sleep and wake up and the drum beat's still there.
Yeah, sometimes it's me turning over with my partner and my phone, just like like just waking her up, being like, "What are you doing? It's 2 in the morning." But when inspiration strikes, I guess you just have to always be alert. I guess I heard Chris Martin said this one time, and it's like changed my life. Where it's like the one rule like he's given himself socially is like if he has an idea or like feels a song coming, he
Mm,
has to go like quickly
mm,
like write it down or voice memo it. Like he'll never not do it anymore. It doesn't matter what he's doing. If he's driving, he pulls over only because um, Pharrell says this too, where it's like all the songs and ideas are in the universe already, which I do believe, and it's just like it's just you aligning with it. And
mm.
if you're aligned with it, you have to capture it, or else you'll lose it. Someone else will get it. So
Absolutely.
I kind of live by that now. I don't know. I like that idea.
And also, like, that's your job. That's what you
Yeah,
do,
for
right? So
sure.
like,
Yeah,
if you bouncing out from a social interaction just to like voice note
yeah,
something is going to result potentially in an incredible song.
for sure. Yeah, it's all you're always kind of thinking about the what ifs
Mm.
in this kind of particular career space. So yeah, it's nice.
Is that something you've done for any of the songs on Lost in Translation?
Ooh, yeah, there's a few. Let me think. Because a lot of the album we kind of did in this like A-frame house. We have like a documentary about it, but it's basically just this big '60s A-frame house that we got in the middle of the Hollywood Hills.
The behind the scenes looks crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It was a beautiful house, and it like Linda McCartney passed through, like insane artists and partners of artists, and so it was just like a hub of music creativity back in the
Mm.
'60s and '70s, and we were lucky enough to get it. And yeah, songs were just kind of pouring out, but there's a few songs on the record that just kind of stopped us in our tracks. I think Evenings and Weekends is one that just kind of like fell out of the sky, and we were like, we have to record this right now.
Mm.
Break for You was like that too. Natural happened like that too, where we were at our friend's like studio setup, and he just like played a drum groove, and then all of a sudden we were like country in Nashville, baby, it's natural. Like
Mm.
sometimes it's yeah, a lot of our work is kind of like that. We try not to force too much in creation mode. It's like either you feel it and it comes out, or you just like don't put pressure on it. And then sometimes you have days where you get nothing done, and those are important. You need days where like you kind of fail, because that's going to get you to the next day to not fail.
Mm.
But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, a few songs like that. Evenings and Weekends for sure. Break for You, Natural. Some of those really kind of like spontaneity. The spontaneity was crazy. What a word.
Yeah.
Spontaneity.
There we go. Man, it feels like you guys are at this point as a band where you've been playing
Yeah.
together for years. It seems like
Yeah.
there's a lot of comfort around that process.
Yeah, 100%. We're very lucky that we got together. We were friends before we became a band, which
Mm.
isn't like always the case. I feel like there's a lot of bands that just kind of like, they weren't for hire. They didn't meet for hire, but it was more of like a put up a flyer in college because
Right.
I'm looking for a
Hey,
singer and a
Kijiji
guitarist.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember Lumineers, I think, met on Craigslist. I remember hearing that
Crazy.
story, and I was like, that's wild. Like,
Why do I feel like they were all family?
I know.
They
It's
just
wild.
all have
Yeah.
the same
Oh,
beards.
it kind of gave cult vibes, but no,
Yeah.
they totally met on Craigslist. But
Which
yeah.
also gives Cult vibes.
Which also gives cult vibes. But yeah, we're lucky. We're just like friends, and you know, there's a spirit and like a bloodline there that transcends like, hey, do you want to be in my band? It's like, no, we just like came up playing instruments together in a room, and we've been in a room when we're flat broke and have nothing, and we're just like, all we have is like this 1 hour we've rented because we've scrounged together money to rehearse. You know, it's like we've just been through that, and that does like speak in how we move and play on stage. And it's a language you learn. Like, we're working with a producer right now, he talks about that a lot. It's like being in a band is such a specific language, because it's not just you, it's a four-way marriage, and it's a language that you have to communicate between four people. And it's like you can only learn that by like years and years of trial and tribulation and all that stuff. So yeah, there's definitely a feeling there that kind of just developed through our friendship. But
that's beautiful. It strikes me as like a language that you guys are almost building together too. Like, I can imagine if someone else sits in that room for that first time, they're not going to be fluent.
For sure. Yeah. And there's no Duolingo to learn it. Like, it's either you put in the time or you're screwed. But yeah, that's kind of just my thought process on it. I don't know. If people want to start bands on Craigslist or put up the flyer, like, do it.
Still viable. You could be Lumineers.
You never know how you're going to meet. And like, truly, like, we met because we got double booked, but that's kind of how we became friends too. So yeah,
that's
chase
crazy.
Your dreams.
And for people on stream who don't know that story, you guys were double booked for a studio session, just like comically showed up to the same place.
Yeah, we both showed up to the same place. Me and Alex went to high school together, and Kara and Mickey, and that was like that was just like how we met, and we didn't have any mutual friends or anything. And then from there, we just like hung out for like 2 summers, and we didn't really make music. We made some music, but we just kind of hung out, and then that rolled into being a band. So yeah, weird, like such a weird stars universe thing aligning.
Serendipity. You couldn't like recreate it if you tried.
Can't predict it. Yeah. So
it's wild.
Yeah.
Also, chat, let us know if you have any questions for Rob. I see Salha saying she's obsessed with Natural.
Oh, cool.
I feel like that's a pretty common sentiment. It's an amazing song.
That one's cool. Thanks, Drake, for that vibe, because that's the drum groove is very just hold on, we're going home. Like, we really tried to tap into that drum beat. Even the intro, I'm surprised more people didn't pick up on it. But yeah, shout out Drake.
Shout out Drake
for starting that drum groove.
Yeah, Drake, if you're looking for collaborators too.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
I just watched his Day in the Life videos.
Oh my God, so funny.
Like, incredible.
I didn't realize it was a spoof of like this guy on TikTok.
I didn't get that.
Like,
I thought
films
he was just
himself
literally
going to
doing
Target.
A Day in the Life. I was like, Drake, he can do no wrong. He's also just aging so well.
Like, ridiculously
well. I find he's aging, like, not just look wise, but his personality and his online just everything. I think he's just aging well. Like,
he's like turned into this like almost father figure.
Yeah.
Like, that's like that Day in the Life is the equivalent of a dad joke.
100%. Yeah.
And the entire internet's like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I love it.
Who's on the hat? The Anita Maxwin?
Oh my God, what's up?
Anita Maxwin.
Oh, oh my God,
the little hat. I didn't realize those were only like $30 on his website. They're all sold out now.
All sold out. I can't grab
Otherwise,
one.
I would have been rocking one.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I love.
Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about this new deluxe album you guys just put out.
For sure.
It's I've been thinking a lot recently about like how to share music in a meaningful way, and which artists are sharing music in a way that feels right and meaningful. And this just struck me as such a powerful way to do it. So for people who don't know, Valley just put out songs that got lost in translation.
Yeah.
It's technically a deluxe version of your album, but it's actually comprised of like 6 demos and a voice note.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so beautiful that it was like just this perfect little window into like the Dropbox folder.
Yeah, just the fridge, we call it. We just have
fridge.
Like stuff you just leave in the fridge that for some reason didn't make it to the main course. And that's kind of what we wanted to do. I think there was ideas of just doing a deluxe where it was like fully finished songs and it's just like extra songs. But the album was long already, and to be honest, it came to a timing thing too. We were on tour opening for Dermot, and like we didn't have time to really like finish songs. So we're like, why don't we just give people a glimpse to like what it feels like to just like pop into our Dropbox. And that's like, we put out 6 songs or whatever it is, but there's like 50, 60 in Dropbox at all times, just like stupid ideas, good ideas that we just didn't chase. And we just kind of picked our favorites, and they're really all over the place. Like, one is literally an iPhone voice note of the song called Going Gray, which I think one day will come out, and I think I honestly think it's a Smasher Rooney. I love that song so much. But,
yeah, it's a voice note. It's a Smasher Rooney.
It's there's something about that song, but it wasn't its time yet. And like we're big believers, like songs will have their time, and that's happened in the past too, where we haven't put a song on one thing and then it comes out on the next thing. And so that's the song. And then like Memories was like more finished, and that was just one that like didn't fit in the record, but it feels like it needed to come out. And then Bonsai Goodbye was literally us. That was from the pandemic, where I think we just all took edibles and wrote on Zoom.
Nice.
And we literally like made like this auto-tuney like hyper pop song. We're like, why not put that out? And yeah, it's all this random stuff. I don't feel like Feeling was us just like messing around with like auto-tune Informant. Trying
little altar boy.
Yeah, little altar boy going in, like trying to be weird and for the sake of boredom, and then the chorus is very like Oasis classic. Like, we were just like showing people like what the process is of creating a song for us, which is just throwing a lot of different genre in one thing and squishing it all together and making one dish. But yeah, I'm super happy they came out. Like I said, like they live in Dropbox. They would have sat on a hard drive forever, so might as well people just have it. And then also this is fun because if there's a song or something that genuinely like fans like super love or dig, like we'll just finish it and put it out. Like we'd love to.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Like if Going Gray's the one, then we'll finish it because we want to put that song out. But this is almost a good way to kind of just kind of see what people are vibing. I think it's fun for us too to be like, hey, let's just put out some like small little bits, and like if something jumps, up high, then we'll grab it and we'll finish it because we love all those songs. There's just only so much time in the day to finish everything. So super proud of it. I'm stoked that they're out there. It's I would have just enjoyed listening to them on the train alone, but now everyone can listen to all these demos, so it's great.
I think you guys are so good at giving back to your fans. Like I think
you.
that's such a through line.
So funny you say. I feel like we don't give back enough to our fans. It's like I feel such like, but that's also just the internet. I see how much like artists are doing with their fan bases, and sometimes I'm like, oh, are we not doing enough, or are we just focusing on other things? And yeah, it's always tough. But thank you for saying that, because yeah, it's hard to manage it all nowadays. I feel like there's just so much to hold on an artist's back, like, and not in a bad way, but it's just like I'm impressed by artists that do more, because I'm always looking to see how we can do more and more and more, and like really serve our fans, because there really is no career without fans, like without tickets, without them coming to shows, like there's just like nothing means anything. So but thank you. Yeah, I love them all dearly.
Yeah, they love you, man. The
thanks.
Bananas. Shout out to the
Bananas. Oh yeah, Kim, Katie, and Miranda. They're legends. They're so good. I love them. I love them so much.
For context, these are just some of the most diehard Valley fans who pull up in banana outfits to shows. They're incredible.
Yeah, they just started a Discord that's like incredible, and they've done like Twitch stuff. They've done like a bunch of stuff. They've just like constantly are engaging with our fan base around the world, and they're honestly like the best. They've really like brought our fans together. So
really quick in the chat, Cherry Red saying no because you give us so much and it feels great feeling so connected in a fandom.
That's very nice. I feel like maybe I'm just speaking out of my imposter syndrome. I think personally I always want to give more to fans, but I'm always trying to figure out like what's the most honest way, because social media is just like tough for me sometimes too. I'm like, I don't know how to serve everyone best, but I'm happy they think that. That's very kind. Absolutely.
She's also saying that everyone thanks you for Forget Me. That's my personal fave as well too.
Yeah, Forget Me. Yeah, that song used to be a like a Motown song. Like we tried doing like a Jackson 5 song. Let me see if I can find
that makes sense chord wise, because there's some like really cool stuff going on.
Like I can't even. It's probably so cringe, but I'll try to find it because it's funny for people to have context. Forget Me Valley. Let's see if it's this one.
Cass is saying, begging for a complete Going Gray. And we're going to go bully them on Twitter.
Yeah. We will.
You might get a lot of tweets now.
Okay, this is all the acoustic ones. Oh, I'm trying to find it. There's a version that's like very Motown and like had this like... No, I can't find it. But anyways, it's somewhere. But yeah, it was interesting. But I'm glad the acoustic version that we end up doing is is my favorite version.
Yeah, it's
The other one was
beautiful.
too much. Thank you.
I also love
Appreciate
that there's a little bleed from the click track.
Oh, literally, it's like one
It
take.
feels like I'm just sitting right there with you
Yeah,
guys.
one take wonder kind of vibe. Yeah, wild. But yeah, sometimes that stuff hits the most. I oftentimes when artists like put out demos and stuff, I always like love the demo versions more. Cause I'm like, oh, it does feel like I'm sitting like on the couch in front of them as they're like just playing. It's
And
nice.
there's an element of getting to know someone. I feel like that's why I think this is like such a kind and cool thing to do, is opening up your process.
For sure.
Like me personally, I became a Valley fan like off of like around Maybe era. I remember a song a friend put me on.
Sick.
And I couldn't believe you guys were out of like Oakville.
Oh my God.
It's like, no way there's music like this
it's
coming
crazy.
out.
Yeah.
Like in a 30-minute drive.
If you love that record, you're going to love our next record.
Hell yeah.
We're in the season of going back to where we started.
Amazing.
And yeah, the next record feels, the bloodline feels like very, I said that about Lost in Translation, but Lost in Translation was more like us really being a little lost and figuring out like, how can we shape shift and still stay true? And this next record is like the truth times 1,000. I'm really excited for it. I think I think a lot of maybe fans are gonna crawl out of the bushes and go, wait, what happened? Because it just feels like the beginning again.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Hell yeah.
And also blown away that like you guys had a crazy year of touring.
Yeah.
Put out this entire massive Lost in Translation project, the deluxe, and you're telling me you're already working on some new stuff.
Oh yeah, I leave to Nashville in a few days, and I'm there for a whole month just working on the record.
Wild.
With the band, yeah. Just back to it. I mean, gotta stay busy,
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, and
clearly.
like that's my happiness. I think is like in the studio and just like making the things.
That's amazing. I think that's also like I think the secret to longevity in a career.
Yeah.
Like you look at guys like Prince who just have a discography that I don't even know if I'll ever hear every song in that.
It's insane.
But it's just because you love it and it seems to like fuel you.
100%. Yeah, that's what it's all about, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, like, the headspace, how's that different between you working on Lost in Translation and now whatever this new project is going to be? Are you, like, going back and listening to Maybe? Are you thinking about how you were thinking at that time?
Yeah, it's not like we're, like, trying to remake Maybe because that's a point in time that was very free and young and truthful. And not saying we're not there. We've just, like, had a journey of exploring every path because – I mean, we're artists and creatives. It's like the thing with being an artist that like is the toughest thing to understand, but is also your biggest superpower is like when you can understand the fundamental fact that like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, in terms of like if you make the same album 6 times over, then people are going to be like, well, you're just making the same music constantly, and then I'm bored of it. And then if you try to pivot too much, then people are going to be like, well, this is just all so different that doesn't feel like the thing that I loved you for. And it's like, that's what we realized with Lost in Translation, is just letting go of that and being like, we're just going to try this because we want to try this. And with this record, we brought on a producer and we're kind of just like, it's the first time where we're kind of letting go of expectation. There's zero expectation with this album in our heads. Like we have no goals, nowhere to really point to other than truth. Not saying Lost in Translation wasn't truthful, but we're trying to find the truth of like what made us 17, 16 years old and start a band and like just like not overthink the process. And that's our biggest superpower right now. And our producer says this a lot, but it's about shifting like 1 degree. We're all about shifting 1 degree because I love this analogy. If like a plane is like set to fly to Calgary and it moves even just 1 degree, you're going to land in a completely different place. And for us, it's just building a bridge right now from Lost in Translation and turning that 1 degree that takes us to, hopefully back home or where we started and combine that with like who we've become, because that's obviously worked and it's been a really beautiful thing. So that's what it's all about right now for us. So I don't know what it's going to hold. The songs are very raw, honest, and we're not trying to overly season everything. It's really about like what we're talking about and being as truthful as possible with our lyrics and really just telling our story, because the past year has been very amazing but also very difficult for us, and there's just a lot that we're writing about. So I'm very excited. I think it's the most real thing we've ever made. Like I can't put currently the body of work we're making with anything. Like it's its own separate room in our Valley house, and that's what I'm excited about. Because at the end of the day, I see albums as like building a house. So Maybe's one room, Lost in Translation's the other, the EPs maybe, you know, the shed in the backyard. Like I'm all about just building as many new rooms in one thing that feels cohesive. So but I think we're adding like the dining room now. This is like the entertainment.
The fans are gonna eat.
This is where everyone's gonna eat,
Right.
and spend the most time, because I'm just really proud of everything that's coming together.
That's beautiful. It's so interesting hearing like you talk about the process.
Yeah.
Because like from the outside looking in, I see a band that cares so much about the details, but hearing about which you do, but hearing you speak about it, it's like not an uptight care about the details and need to get it right. It's such a loose process of getting it right.
For sure.
And taking it wherever it takes you.
100%.
The chat's also going crazy.
Oh, sick.
Lots of hearts, lots of purple hearts. And
these.
Miranda is saying music to my ears about the new project.
Miranda's gonna love this album, I think.
Hell yeah. Cass is saying Valley doing whatever Valley wants era. Cherry's saying you guys definitely need a break from all the touring this past year, but at the exclusive Best Buy event, you guys mentioned touring again sometime this year. Lost in Translation Tour 2.0 ?
So we have touring plans. I'll just be honest, we have like a tour routed for this year. It just depends on the record, how long the record takes. So
right on.
That's kind of how touring works. It's like I always want to go back out as soon as possible, but we also have to just line it up with, okay, we're going to go away to Nashville and make the album for a month, and then when we get back, you know, we might have the album done. We might need to keep working because it doesn't feel there, and then we have to get all the creative together, and then we have to, you know, get ready for the whole launch. So it just depends. We obviously have deadlines, but we're trying to practice no expectations. So it's just however long it takes. Obviously, we need to and want to tour in 2024, so I think we will. But I don't want to over-promise and under-deliver. So I think the plan is to, get on tour as soon as possible. And I wanted to do another Lost in Translation tour. We were fighting so badly to make it happen, and we might still do it, but we just got inspired again. That's the thing where it's like, we're going to come back, but then you come home and you're like, wait, I have like a whole other record in my head. So we kind of were like, okay, maybe we'll just go away and do another album, and that's what's happening. So obviously the next tour will have a mix of both records anyways, but we just felt so inspired we had to get back in, which is not a bad problem. It's just more new music, but yeah, definitely touring as soon as possible is the answer.
Man, I feel like if I'm a Valley fan tuning in, which I am, this
Sick.
is a good day. This is a good day to be a Valley fan.
Love it.
It's going to be an incredible year.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Thanks, Nico.
Thanks, Rob. I think we're going to cut away to a snippet of the documentary.
Cool.
Coming up.
Sweet.
So, UMUSIC team, work your magic. Let's check this out.
Ooh.
I mean,
Sick.
I feel like there's so many reasons, but I think that the simplest answer is like there's nothing else I can do. Like I make music because like I have to. Like I think I would literally go insane, or I would lose everything in my life if I didn't have it. It is like everything to me.
Right now we're doing a camp in the hills, like the Hollywood sign's like literally right there. It's this old like 60s untouched A-frame building in the hills.
We hadn't yet done sort of like a camp style for writing where we as a band are hosting writers here. A lot of the songs are written like immediately, literally. We wake up and we just like have an idea and go to the piano and we're still in our PJs.
We've been writing on the roof. We have a studio set up outside. We have a studio set up on the patio. Like anywhere just like feeds beauty and inspiration here. And just having all our friends out. Everyone we're writing with are like genuinely our friends before they're writers or artists. We love them to death, and like they get the most Valley out of Valley, you know?
I guess this is the last day of the trip, and you know we're very happy with what we've done so far, and it's exciting. It's exciting to have too many good songs, but it's a good problem to have.
what a documentary that's going to be. We're super stoked.
Yeah.
Man, Rob, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Hope we didn't pull you away in the middle of an idea. It sounds like the morning person thing worked out.
I needed the break.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, it's going to be an incredible year. Good luck in Nashville.
Thank you.
And I think we're going to play a little bit of Natural.
Perfect segue. Yeah, like country in Nashville. Baby, we're natural. Yeah, this is that we're playing the video.
Yeah,
I love this video. Yeah, shout out Kara for kind of leading the vision on this and directing it. This video we had to film in the middle of tour. So we like started tour and then we had a few days off and then we were going to North America to do the rest of the tour. So she like led the whole ship with Oliver, and I just it was the first time I just showed up to a video and like did my thing and then left. But yeah, shout out to the crew, Kara, and everyone that made this video happen. It's probably one of my favorites, and it's just nice to say that Kara kind of directed it and led it, because yeah, she's got a genius brain with the visual stuff. So
no kidding, what a talent.
So good. But yeah, enjoy.
Let's run it back. Thanks,
Love
man.
y'all. Thanks, guys.